Air India has been unprofitable since its 2007 merger with state-owned domestic operator Indian Airlines Limited. India will break up its debt-burdened flag carrier into 4 separate companies and offer to sell at least 51% in each of them as part of a disinvestment proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The core airline business comprising Air India and Air India Express, the low-cost overseas arm, will be offered as one company, and the process will be completed by the end of 2018, Junior Aviation Minister Jayant Sinha said in an interview Monday. Its regional arm, ground handling, and engineering operations will also be sold separately in the same process. A successful sale of Air India, with $7.9 billion in debt, 5 subsidiaries and a joint venture, and a combined workforce of 27,000, is crucial for Modi, who wants to showcase his credentials as a reformist attempting to steer the state away from running businesses. The airline, which is surviving on a taxpayer-funded bailout, has strained government finances for decades, and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said last year that money spent on Air India could have been used for education. Unlocking growth. The aviation sector is a very fast-growing sector, with really exciting opportunities for all participants, so we felt all of this will unlock growth and competitiveness of Air India Group, Sinha said. We expect it to be a very bright future for its employees. Sinha declined to name potential bidders but said management control will be retained by local investors. The government altered foreign investment rules last week, allowing foreign airlines to own as much as 49% of Air India. Investors' interest will be sought by end of this month with details on Air India's core and non-core debt and assets, he added. The government will add most of the non-core debt owed by the carrier to its own balance sheet, while borrowings linked to core operations will be retained by the unit on offer, Sinha said. A so-called special purpose vehicle will hold the unsustainable debt of the airline and the government is making every effort to protect employees. Air India has been unprofitable since its 2007 merger with state-owned domestic operator Indian Airlines Limited. The company made an operating profit of about 1 billion rupees $15.7 million in the year through March 2016, primarily due to a slump in oil prices. It still posted a net loss of 38.4 billion rupees, according to the government. $63 billion investment. India, the world's fastest-growing major aviation market, may not sustain the current 15 to 20% growth in the long term, but will expand at about 12% annually. To handle the surge in passengers, the country will need investments of as much as 4 trillion rupees to expand and build new airports over the next decade and a half, with the bulk of it coming from the private sector. Carriers in India, including market leader Indigo, are set to order more than 1,000 planes as they look to tap an emerging middle class with disposable income to fly for the first time, according to Sydney-based Kappa Centre for Aviation. However, capacity constraints at the main airports in New Delhi and Mumbai mean there are hardly any landing and parking slots available. The government is in the process of implementing new airports in these 2 cities and, in the short term, improving infrastructure at nearby airports to handle some of that growth. As of now, we have very significant expansion plans underway. We've looked at the top 30 airports in the country, Sinha said. We now have a very clear roadmap for the next 15 to 20 years as to what we have to do. Air India Express, AI sat to be part of Air India sell Air from Air India to partially foreign-owned airline. Air India sale, parliamentary panel, actually supports its Air India disinvestment process moving expeditiously. Government to go ahead with Air India's strategic divestment.